I'm on. So not bad, a few minutes behind. So I have 2 kids home again today under the weather. So my amazing mom is home babysitting and I got a shower in, which is good. And also my mother-in-law's gonna help out a little bit later. So I'm in good shape. I'm here. I love teaching this Fascia Fix Flow class on Tuesdays live on Facebook. It's just a really good way for me to be able to teach in a class format and also to save it so people can access it later on as well. So going in again to a little bit about what fascia is, connective tissue throughout our body. I have been so excited because I feel like every so many days I am hearing different people talking about fascia or sending me messages about it, or there are articles coming out. And most recently, which I was super excited about, was on Netflix, the Glute Lab mini docuseries from Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle brand. They go out, the staff does, and they try all these different modalities, different things health related. In one episode called The Energy Experiment, or Experience, I think, they do networking chiropractic, which is what my very good friend Kim Ripmaster, Dr. Ripmaster, does here at Hulsa. And it's amazing stuff, and it's a really good way to kind of understand it a little bit better and see how the energy field works with the body. But then they talk about fascia, which is even more exciting for me too. So to talk about fascia in a show like that is really, really great. So if you want to find out a little bit more information, I highly recommend checking out that episode, The Energy Experiment, on the Goop Lab on Netflix. Okay, so today we are going to do a fascia stretch in the chair. So I want to show people that they can do these type of fascia stretches whatever they are. So standing, sitting in a chair, or even down on the ground. So we'll do some in the chair today. I do have a yoga belt with me. I also have a block, which you can use, but you don't need to, but I'll show you how to use it. And then we will go down on the floor and add an element of core as well. So trying to incorporate some more body work involved with also the fascia stretching too. So grab a chair and I will meet you there in a second. My little notes today, make sure we cover what we're looking at today. So to start, my chair is kind of high and I'm kind of short. So for me, I don't actually touch the floor when I'm sitting back in my chair. So I will scoot forward so I can get a really good foundation with my legs. So I'm going to go back to the basics. I want you to think about posture first. So when we're sitting here, it's very typical for us to lift our rib cage really high, creating an arch in our mid-back. Take your rib cage in slightly, maintaining a little natural curve in your lower back. And then you want 50-50 body weight distribution in both your legs. So take a moment to let your nervous system get the message down to the legs, starting to invigorate the connection with the nervous system and your muscles and your bones. Next, think about your feet. So I want you to imagine your footprint into the floor. So pad the big toe, pad the pinky toe, and the heel, all evenly in contact with the floor. For me, I adjust a little bit into the pad of my pinky toe because I don't have a strong connection there. Engage your core. For now, I think just thinking about engaging your abdominals, maybe lift your pelvic floor up a little bit, but also your glutes and your hamstrings. So see if you can just get them a little extra involved right here. So that's your foundation. Next, we're going to stretch the fascia in the back of our neck. Let down my wet hair from my shower. And we are going to bring both hands back behind our head. Sometimes just achieving this position can be difficult. If that's the case, feel free to sit back or to just watch this. You can learn a little bit more about this one. So both hands are going to go back behind the head. Revisit your posture. For me, I lifted my ribs. I'm going to pull them back in. So what I'm going to do is do a little chin tuck, bring my chin back towards my throat, and tilt my gaze up onto the diagonal. So I'm shortening the muscles on either side of my neck a little bit and back. So that's how we're going to get to the fascia. We're going to shorten that area. Next, you're going to resist your head back into your hands. So now I feel the back of my neck engage. Once I have that, it's not super strong, but just enough that I have the right direction going back with my head. Use your arms to bring your head gently forward, all the while maintaining resistance going back. I'm going to come forward to right about here, and then bring myself back up, chin tuck, tilt to look up. I did lift my ribcage a little bit there. As you start to move forward, find that neutral spine again. So as my head's coming forward, I'm resisting back. I'm staying grounded in my legs. Check in with your hamstrings and your glutes. Good. Chin tuck, tilt up. Resist the head back. Tighten your tummy. I like to give the cues along the way because it's easy for those cues to start with you and fall off a little bit along the pathway. Looking up, chin tuck, tilt up. 2 more here, tummy tight. Keep resisting the head back. Thanks for those of you joining me today. Bringing the head forward, chin tuck, tilt up, resist back. Strength of the hands brings you forward. This is a really good way to start your day, because if you wake up with a stiff neck in the morning, what happens throughout the rest of the day is that you probably are inhibiting your posture slightly. So when you give yourself that neck stretch, it's easier for your head to find its proper postural alignment throughout the rest of your day. Okay, so let's move on to our piriformis, which is a muscle in your glute area, or your butt. So to do that, we're going to cross one ankle over the other. I'm not at my knee, I'm just above the knee slightly, and then my heel is off the thigh slightly to the side. So to do this, we're going to stretch first the piriformis on the leg that's crossed over. So the rule is you shorten that area by letting this knee drop down as far as you can go. Some people might have their knee up here because they're very, very tight in their hips, both in the hip flexors, their adductors, their inner thigh, or their piriformis. So let your knee fall to wherever it works for you. Once you have that, ground down again, press through the leg that's on the floor. Lift your pelvic floor. And you're going to take both hands to the outside of my knee. Now my knee came up a little bit because my arms are short. Go as far as you can, open with your knee and as far as you can reach with your hands. I'm going to shift my body ever so slightly in that direction to give myself better leverage. So we shorten the glute on the right. Now we add resistance into it by pushing the knee down towards the floor. Once you feel that engage, the key is to have the right direction. It's not about how hard you're going. You want your arms to overpower the resistance and bring your knee towards your chest or towards your sternum. Open up that knee again without resistance. Press that knee down. Feel the activation in your right glute. Use the strength of your arms to bring the knee towards your chest. We are stretching the fascia, or the connective tissue, in and around our piriformis and glute area while we're performing this. At the same time, we're strengthening our arms and upper body. Check back in with your core. I'm going to tighten my abs a little bit more. Stabilize through that leg that's down on the floor. Press that knee down. My resistance is changing ever so slightly as I continue this because the dense fascia is becoming more flexible, and that makes you more flexible. Press that knee down. Draw the knee towards your chest. Let's do one more on this side. Press that knee down. Draw your knee up towards the chest. Every rep feels a little bit different for me, so if you're experiencing that as well, that's a good thing. Uncross. Let your legs shake out a little bit. I'm feeling a little extra vibration through this leg because the nervous system, again, is getting the message down to that glute area and affecting that connective tissue. Crossing the opposite side over. Square your pelvis, making sure you're trying to stay as level as you can and not drop down on either side. Lifting up, but also keep that rib cage in. I know so many things to think about, but once you get comfortable practicing these, that will start to become more natural and fall into place easier. So I'm planting my foot that's on the floor, finding my footprint. My arms are going to reach out and I'm going to grab behind my knee or on the outside of my knee. Shifting your chest ever so slightly towards that leg. You're going to press that knee straight down towards the floor. Pause. Once you feel it in that glute area, in the right place, then use the strength of the arms to pull the knee towards your chest. I have some muscles clunking and clicking over some joint surfaces or bones. That's just a sign that you have really, really, really tight muscles, probably due to dense fascia or scar tissue in that area. So then this means this is a very good thing to do. Press that knee down, tighten your tummy, powerful arms, bringing the knees towards your chest. Open it back, press the knee down, draw your knee towards your chest. Let's do a couple more here. Breathing naturally, let the breath move in and out as your body needs. This side feels totally different to me than the other side. Your resistance is continuing as the knee comes up. It releases as you open. Pressing down. Find it. Pause here again. Take it slow so you really feel that your arms and your knees opposing each other. Let's do one more. This time I'm going to bring my thigh, or my foot up a little bit closer to my body, up on my thigh. This will change the fascia stretch a little bit. Pause, press that down. Use the strength of your arms to pull the knee in. Whoa! Actually, I think I'm going to do one more on that side because that felt really good, like I needed it there. Press that knee down. Powerful arms. Good, and uncross. Shake it out. Now I get the vibrations down this leg a little bit. Good. Hope this is feeling good for everyone at home. So we just stretched your glute area, the piriformis. Now we're going to stretch your adductor, so your inner thigh. It looks similar to the one that we just did, but it's opposite. So you're still going to cross one ankle over the thigh. This time, if we're going to stretch the fascia in our adductors or inner thigh, we have to first shorten that by bringing this knee up. So I'm just going to use the strength of my leg to bring that knee up. That's my start position. My hands are going to go on the inside of my knee, closest to my body. I'm going to put a little pressure here with my foot into my thigh to create a little bit better foundation. So my knee is going to resist up towards my chest, feel it in your inner thigh, and then slowly push that knee down, all the while you're resisting up. I have a lot more core involvement with this one because it's hard work to hold that knee up and resist it up. You're stretching a little bit, hopefully, into your psoas, which is a very difficult muscle to get to. It starts in the back area, but it kind of comes forward from the abdominal area, the hip flexors in front of your hip. And that can be a really difficult area to stretch, but it can get really, really, really dense and tight and cause a lot of different issues that you won't even think it's connected to. Press that knee up, tummy's tight. Use the strength of your arms to push that knee down. Two more here. Good, posture lifts. Use the strength of your arms to push the knee down. One more time. Knee raises up, pressing it down. Uncross. Shake it out. Make your way to the other side. Find your posture, find your core. Ground down through that leg. Hips are squared. Bring this knee up towards your chest. This ankle that's crossed over presses slightly into your thigh. And this knee is going to resist in towards you, feeling it in that inner thigh. Once you have it, press that knee down. Good. Bring it back up, resist up. Feel it in that inner thigh, pressing it back down. Knee comes up. Reinvigorate your posture, your energy. Press that knee down. Two more up. Press up. It doesn't have to be so hard in your resistance. I'm finding that as I'm teaching this work, just enough resistance in the right direction is just as effective and helps to increase that flexibility. Take a moment to stand up and shake your legs out a little bit. My head feels like I'm able to lift up a little bit taller, and my legs feel a little bit more freedom. I kind of just feel like they feel good, kind of juicy. Okay, next we are moving on. I am going to grab that yoga belt that I was talking about. So if you don't have a yoga belt with you, you could grab anything like a belt. You could grab a towel, a dish towel that's long, something that you can grab onto both ends. All right. We're going to stretch that upper body again. I'm going to keep my hand distance a little bit wider than shoulder width. So first plant down through your feet. Find that footprint in the sand. Get that nervous system to work all the way down to your feet. 50-50 body weight, both legs. rib cage pulled in, but that you also have a little bit of a curve in your lower back. So grab on to whatever it is that you have with you. You're going to start with your arms down. So you might have seen where you go up, it's a good stretch, kind of move around and down. We're going to add a fascia stretch to this. So I'm going to make sure my wrists are straight. You don't want your wrists flexed up or down, that they're straight with your arm. Find a slight chin tuck and retract your shoulders a little bit. What that's going to do is get your postural alignment in the correct place. Next, you're going to resist your hands out this way. So resisting your hands like they want to go wider, but they're not going to. Keep maintaining that posture in that core. Keep resisting your arms up. Go to wherever you can. I'm starting to feel tightness in my right scapula, so that's as far as I'm going to start right now. Bringing the belt down without resistance. Resist it out again. Feel the resistance coming from the backs of your shoulders, the back of the arms, and maybe between your shoulder blades slightly. Without even trying, I noticed I went probably about an inch more on that one. Bring it down without resistance. Press through your feet. Lift that posture core. Tighten the tummy. Make this about the whole body as we're stretching the fascia in our shoulder area, both sides. Bringing it up, ribs stay in. I just lifted slightly with my ribs. I'm going to pull them back in. Good, my heart rate's coming up a little bit with this one. Get a little hot, good. Press out with your hands. Keep grounding through your feet. Reaching the belt up to the sky. Ribs stay in, hold 3, hold 2, hold 1. Release without resistance. Let's do another one just like that. Hands resist out, chin tuck, plant through the feet. Bring those arms up. Shoulder blades are dropping down through the back. Holding, ribs in, feet pressed. Chin tuck, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Woo! That was good. Let's stick with the arms. Next, I'm going to grab my yoga block. So you don't have to use this. I'll show you how to do this with it or without it. So first, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to place it between my knees. Check in with your feet. Make sure they're in the same position. Find that posture core. People are going to get sick of me saying that, but I'm not going to stop because it's so important to work from a really strong foundation. Okay, so this block is, I'm going to go up on my toes since I'm a little bit high on this chair. If your feet are flat and you're a little bit lower and your knees are in line with your hips, you don't need to raise your heels up. Okay, so we are going to stretch the area in and around the back of the shoulder again. So this one's a little bit more getting underneath your scapula or your shoulder blade and a little bit into your traps as well. So we're affecting kind of the upper shoulder and neck on one side. So what I'm going to do is first take this elbow and I'm going to cross it over. So I can either go on top of the block or to the side of it. If I go to the side of it, I'm going to have a little bit more leverage to work from. It might be a little bit easier. So I'll show you on the outside of the block. So now with this, I'm going to open up this fist towards that side as far as I can reach. My other hand is going to go up and over, and I'm going to grab the back of my hand. My resistance is going this way. So I'm resisting into that area that we are stretching. So as I resist my hand to the right, my right, it might be flipped in the video, I'm going to use the strength of my other hand to bring that fist towards the side. Open it back up, resist it to the side, into the area that you're stretching, and use the strength of the other arm to bring it across. If you don't have the block, it would look kind of really tall in this chair. Something like this. You just can keep your feet and knees together, and you can place your arm in between the knees. And that way you don't need the block. We'll do a couple here. Open it, resist it this way, and use the strength of the other arm to bring it across. Maybe look back on this one, letting your body adjust with the movement of the arm. Resist it to the side, use the strength of it to bring it across, looking to the side as well. Good, let it release. Whew. Need to get a shorter chair next time. All right, I hope you guys are trying this and feeling the effects of the difference between fascia stretching and also just regular classical stretching. So let's move to the other side. So we're going to take this elbow either between the knees, or if you have a block, Maybe I'll bring it a little higher here to see if I can get a little bit more lift. On the outside, either on top or on the outside. Take this fist, open it to the side, and this hand's gonna come up and over and grab on the back hand. This hand is gonna resist here. Once I feel it activating in the other shoulder, then I'm gonna use the strength of this arm. Oh, I'm really tight in my left shoulder. I sometimes get tension headaches in the left side of my neck and the left side of my shoulder. And when I do, I have a lot of tension, tenderness in the muscles. But when I fascia stretch, it helps. Resist. The other night I was really tired of having the headache, and I thought about what I would tell someone to do if they were experiencing that. And I said, so for me, I get headaches on the left side of my neck, but oftentimes the culprit's the other side of the body, so my right side of my neck, or my cervical spine, is really, really tight. So all I did was about 5 fascia stretches for the right side of my neck, not the left, and I woke up without a headache. Again, more reasons why I love this work. So no resistance as you open it, then add the resistance once you get as far as you can to the side. Keep a gentle resistance, always going the opposite direction. One more time. Breath is moving through. Good, and let it release. Whew, okay. So one variation for that, so if you don't have a chair and you're just standing in line at Starbucks and you're like, oh, my shoulder's really starting to bug me. Typically what we do for a shoulder stretch is just across the body like this. Keeping that shoulder down, pulling until you feel a stretch, breathe, pull a little bit more. So the fascial way to do the same stretch, but for the connective tissue, is to have that same position, but open it up. So now I'm going to resist this arm that's straight to the same side of it. So this is my left arm. I'm going to resist to the left. Or if it might be mirroring, it might look to the right to you. So once I have that resistance going, I still feel it in that shoulder blade of the straight arm. I use the strength again of my opposite arm to bring it across, but not all the way. You don't want to go into a full active stretch, a traditional stretch. Keep with just the fascia stretch by going across, but stopping before you feel the full stretch. Let's do one more. Tummy's tight. Pull across. Good, let that release. Let's do the other side just to even it up. Other arm, straight out. I like to grab with the back. Everyone's wrist is a little bit different. This is the grip that I feel I get the best resistance. So kind of taking my fist and putting it at my forearm. I'm going to open up to the side, resist to the side, feel it in the shoulder blade of the straight arm, and then I use the strength of the other arm to bring it across. Open it, resist to the side, draw it across. One more time, and resist. Good, and release. All right, I'm ready to do some core. So let's make our way down to the ground, to the mat. I have a yoga blanket here that I use for some of the work on the floor. Feel free to grab a pillow, a towel, or a blanket in case you want to use it. You'd probably be okay without doing it today because we're probably just going to do some core work too, but if you need a little lift with the head, this is something that you can use. All right. So we are going to go down to the ground. All right, making sure I got a good video here. All right, ponytail needs to come out. All right, so I want you to find your neutral spine. So my head is going to be lengthened by bringing my chin in towards my throat slightly, connecting the back of my head, a little length in the back of the neck. Check in with your posture here. So you don't want to have this happening, and you don't want to have this happening where you're pressing your back into the floor. You want to release that ever so slightly so that you have your sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine, pressed into the floor, not your lower back. If you have lower back tightness while doing any core work, then you can pelvic tilt a little bit more to offer your back a little bit more support. So go by what feels good to you. I'm going to work from this neutral spine position right now. You're going to take your fingertips to your hip bones and go in 1 inch, and I want you to cough. So there's a muscle underneath your fingers right here that's called your transverse abdominis. When you engage it, it's like magic power support, controls pain throughout your body. So we want to work on strengthening it. So as we're doing some core work, when I say engage your transverse, that's what I mean. It's like a belt that wraps around your body. It's your deepest abdominal muscle, but probably one of the most important ones. Engage that transverse, push through your leg, and bring the opposite leg up to 90 degrees. Notice if your hip dropped from that side that went up. If it did, level it out. Tighten that transverse and bring the other leg up to meet it. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Head, neck, and shoulders curling up. If this is uncomfortable for you for your head, you can keep it down on that pillow I mentioned. Both hands are going to reach and grab. One knee on top and the other leg is going to reach away. Elbows are going to open to the side. This isn't the best view here. Let me see if I can get this better for you guys. There we go. Good. So I'm using the strength of my core to keep my head up here. I'm really reaching this leg away, and I'm using power in my arms to hold this knee towards my chest. Use that transverse as you extend the other leg and draw the other one in. If you've done Pilates, this is called single leg stretch. When you activate deeper into your core, especially after having just stretched your fascia, you're going to have more access to control because your muscles are going to show up better for you. Elbows wide, chin down, and switch. Reach that leg wide, way out away from you, pull it and switch. When you do these really effective and execute them really well, you don't need to do that many. Let's do 4 more. 4, feel free to bring your head down at any point. 3, 2, one more time. 1. Knees to your chest, head comes down, head rocks side to side. Now we're going to vary that up. Curl it back up. Your knees are towards your chest. Bring both hands back behind your head for support this time. Make sure you're nice and lifted, elbows are wide, legs lift up to 90 degrees. One leg comes in, one leg comes out, just as you just did. Fire your transverse. Give it a cough if you need to. Your inner thighs are engaged as you're passing by one another. Reach that leg nice and wide, away from your body, but then pull that other knee in with your core. Here's 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Knees to your chest. Head comes down to rest. Bringing both feet down, head side to side. Good, roll it to your side. All right, making your way onto your hands and knees. I'm gonna grab that little blanket I was talking about. Okay, so we are going to do, oh, it's my hair binder, I need it back. We're going to do a little resistance child's pose. So if you know child's pose, doing it with resistance and movement creates an awesome fascia stretch for your chest, your lats, your whole upper body. And there's a lot of variations to do it. So I love doing combination cat, camel, downward dog, some yoga stuff with fascia stretching. So for child's pose, what I'm going to do is bring my hands down to the floor. Move back a little bit here. My knees are apart slightly and my feet are together. And rather than having my hands right underneath my shoulders, I'm going to come forward a little bit. Lift your belly, tuck your tailbone slightly so that you're shifting your body weight, much like you're going to do a push-up on your knees. Now from here, you might need to adjust as you start this. Your resistance are your hands going back and down. So you want to feel the activation in your chest and in your lats. So let's get into that position. Resist the hands back. My knees naturally resist forward. And there are those abs that we just worked. Once I can feel it in that chest in the right direction, keep the belly lifted. Pull your hips back towards your heels. Keep pressing your hands the entire time, down into the ground and back. Coming back up without resistance. Resist the hands back. Pull yourself back. Peeling your hips back. Keeping active in your arms the entire time. Back up and resist the hands back. Pull your hips back. Good. Feel this kind of in between your shoulder blades, in the rib cage. Pull it back. Breathing. Keep active, powerful arms. Good. Let's take 2 steps to the right. Resist the hands down and towards the opposite knee. So once I have that, I'm a little bit to the side, I'm going to shift my hips in the opposite direction. Opening up that hip. You're stretching the fascia more in the rib cage on the side of the direction that your hips are going. I'm going to put a little bit extra resistance in the hand. That's more on the inside of my body. My knees are going to come forward as I resist my hands down and back. Pull it back. Breathing one more time. Hands resist back. Pull it back. We're increasing our pace a little bit. Back to center, bellies lifted, walking to the other side. Shift your body weight forward. Resist the hands to the opposite knee. Once you have it, pull yourself back. Keep that resistance nice and strong. Draw the hips in the opposite direction. Find your resistance at the top, pulling it back. Breathing through it. Coming up without resistance to start. Add your resistance, pull it back. Good. One more time. Resist and pull back. Good. And back to center. I'm going to take the blanket away. Hope everyone's feeling good. We are going to finish with just a little bit of core work, the downward dog plank that I just mentioned before, with resistance and movement. So we're going to affect our fascia while doing a little bit of yoga. So making your way into downward dog. Okay, let's check out my position here. I'm going to go a little bit here for you guys. Okay. All right, take your downward dog, settle in, reaching your hips to the sky, your heels to the floor, and your armpits towards your thigh. Good. All right, I'm going to come down. Stay there for a second so I can describe to you. You're going to resist your hands forward, and naturally your toes or your balls of your feet will resist back. Once you feel that opposite resistance, you're going to peel your sternum through your hands, bringing the sternum through to look forward, keeping a slight chin tuck. Continue to press the hands forward to strengthen to go back to your downward dog. Inhale, full breath. Exhale, resist the hands forward, feet back, draw your chest through. I'm going to lift the chest slightly, keep the belly contained. Press your hands forward to push back, downward dog. This is a lot of energy. You have control how much resistance you have in your arms as you're moving through. Chin tuck, press it back. One more time. Press the feet back, hands forward, and peel yourself forward. Keeping the belly lifted. Good. Find that, hold that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. Bend your knees and walking your feet and hands towards each other. And rolling up, ground through the feet, lift your pelvic floor, stack the vertebrae. One vertebrae on top of the other, shoulders roll up and back, chin tuck at the top. Mountain pose. Inhale, full breath in. Exhale out. Good. Thank you very much. So happy to teach the class. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I hope that you gave it a try and it felt good for you. And I'll see you again next week. Have a good day. Bye.